Wait a minute. So you're telling me truckers want to smoke weed?
I mean, who doesn't? It's brought to you by
Bang.
Bang Energy Drink.
By bang?
Want to bang?
Want
That's their slogan.
to bang? I just got that on recording. That's gonna be great. So I'm so gonna put that in the outtakes at the end. Want to bang? All right, guys. Crazy bags coming at you, and today we have Grateful Tread Trucking. How are you, dear?
Hi, Bags. How you been?
Good, good. So I met Jesse at Prime. You were a solo driver there, right? You went through their entire training program. And
Yeah, I started.
like me, you've recently come off the road.
I did.
And so I really kind of wanted to touch base with you because a lot of drivers who have spent time on the road are coming off of the road for the couch, right? They're hanging up the keys and they're heading home. And so what kind of drove you to that? Like when you were weighing out your options and you were trying to figure out what was best, what kind of did that for you?
I would say that it was a series of events. Some of you guys may have already, seen my YouTube and followed my journey or whatever. But I took a little break. I came back. Things were not the same as they were when I came back. The industry was kind of in like a sense of, it's like any economics, type thing. It goes up and down like this, peaks and
Correct.
valleys.
Yep.
We were in just like a low period, a trough of, if you will, as far as rates and everything goes. So I went a few weeks of being broke, not getting paid, working a lot, and
So not getting paid, when you say not getting paid, you mean because you were a lease driver, right? So you had
because
like
I was a lease driver,
yeah, so
so
you weren't making enough to cover your overhead.
and that's a risk that we willingly take on when we sign a lease.
Correct.
So there really wasn't anybody to be mad at. It was just an unfortunate situation. There were things outside of my control, equipment needing repairs, a lot of downtime that I wasn't really able to afford. So I still have to make that lease payment. So the money that I was making, I was just watching the negative number on my settlement go down. So the
And
negative.
and for the record, because I already know the story, you didn't leave negative though. You actually stuck it out, got into the positive, and
So
yeah, and so you didn't leave like negative $5,000. I
no, no,
mean,
no, 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 no,
yeah,
no.
you actually, but you went through that, and while you were going through that, you just made the decision of, hey, this probably isn't for me anymore.
I was starting to feel like I might be burnt out on trucking around that time, and I would say that was late last year. Um, and then we had the summer was supposed to be really good, so I already had planned I was going to get off the road in September. I wanted to come home. I wanted to have a normal life again. I wanted to be able to relax and see my fiance and just not be out for 2 months at a time and not know when I'm going to come home.
You mean that guy
Uh,
Mike?
huh?
That guy Mike?
That guy Mike that everybody knows about.
I
And
think they do. Yeah.
so I was able to, I made a plan, and the summer was supposed to be really good freight wise. So I was going to hang in there. I was going to save up a bunch of money. I started my plan. Then we had COVID-19 happen. And I guess things were just getting weird. Freight it just tanked
Tank
because
bad. Yeah.
I can explain to you guys why, but that's a whole other thing. It just, there was a problem, with the supply chain. Everything was just really unexpected. And I just, it was getting hard to find food. Things were just kind of grossing me out, like going from state to state to state and seeing people coughing without covering their mouths and not being able to sit down and have a meal. And I don't know, it was just getting overwhelming. And it all just like accumulated and resulted in me just saying, screw it. And on a week when I was positive, I just finally sent the message to dispatch. It was over the weekend, so I didn't have to talk to my actual fleet manager about it right away. But I told them they were trying to deadhead me from North Carolina to Texas to
Okay.
Fort Worth. And I know just from experience, you usually get screwed over on a pretty long deadhead like that was going to be a 2-day drive. I told him I was, already on I-40, and I was like, I'm going to Springfield. Take me off this deadhead. And I told him I was turning my truck in, and it was such a scary move. I was so afraid that I was going to regret it. And you know what? I don't at all.
And that's good, because you're right. So basically what happened was you already had a plan. You already had an out plan in September, and you just kind of fast forwarded it a little bit.
Yep. I just jumped on it. I was like, oh, I really should hang in there, but it's okay now, because like, while some people are making money, there are also people that are not making money. They're deadheading.
Yeah.
There's like a running joke going on in the Prime groups now on Facebook, where people are saying they're getting deadheaded like to the moon. There's just like a whole people just are talking about being deadheaded to California from New York. Like, I don't know. I'm just, even if I was out there making, I don't know, $1,500 a week, which I could never really even average, just based on my experience. It's different for everybody, but
it is.
Even if I was making that right now, I'm so happy to be home and to just be able to relax and spend time with the people that I really care about, and I feel like I missed a lot while I was on the road. I missed the death of my mom.
You did.
And I was there to see my grandma, but I missed time that I could have spent with her prior. I actually missed gatherings and holidays, the last ones that she would have been there for, because I was stuck in Washington because I couldn't find me a load, even though I had home time scheduled for those. So I'm just relieved.
So that's what I was going to say. So you're a little stressed out about when you made the move, right? Because it's scary, because you're leaving a job. You didn't have anything lined up. You had no job ready to go. And
I had some prospects.
Yeah, you had some prospects, but that was it.
And it wasn't like I was here. I had to actually move my stuff from Missouri back to New York, where I'm originally from. And it's like, I'm not physically in New York right now, so I can't tell. I'll get calls back and they'll be like, oh, can you come in for an interview today? And I'm like, well, I'm actually in Tennessee right now. It's just like, sorry. Sorry,
can't do it. Yeah. So you made that jump. You're home now. I'm glad everything worked out for you. I'm glad you made the jump early, to be honest with you. So me and Jesse have been friends for a while. We knew each other from Facebook, from YouTube, kind of. And then like last, I don't know, it was October. We started kind of talking on like a regular basis. September or October, I think. It might have been a little before that.
It could have been before that.
It might have been before that, yeah, that we started talking. So I've kind of followed her journey. So even when I left Prime, you were still there, because you've only been gone from Prime for what, like a month?
Not even, I don't think. I can't even tell you. It's been probably the happiest time of my life. So it's been flying. I don't know.
So, okay, that's what I was going to ask you. So what do you do now on like a daily basis? Like, is it just like seeing Mike and hanging out with him and your family and his family? Do you look back now and say, hey, I was going to miss all this. I'm glad I made this decision.
Yeah. Like every moment actually just suddenly has like my perspective is so different than it was before I left. Cause I moved to California. I left home, I moved to California, and then I did trucking. So now I'm back home. So it's like an extra layer too.
Yeah, correct.
Gone from here for like 5 years, and I miss so much. And every little moment that I'm there for just feels so special.
It feels so much better, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I'm working for. I have some good friends that own a couple businesses, so I'm doing delivery driving for their bar, and I'm going to be doing photo editing, video editing, online stuff for their. They have a bakery. They sell like cooking supplies.
Correct. I got you.
So I'm helping them with that. And then I also have been working at Walmart, which has been surprisingly
good.
Almost humorous how much I they don't really even care.
Well,
so I'm getting paid pretty good money to show up to work and just do like a little bit above bare minimum, and they're happy.
And
so
some of that might be Corona related, you know. I mean, they might be.
Oh yeah, probably, definitely.
Well, you know,
but
I just did a video yesterday about pay rates in the trucking industry and how low they actually are if you break it down by the hour, right?
Yep.
And so you at home,
you're making less
money, right? I was going to say that's what I was going to say. You're making less money at the end of the week. But when it boils down to your money that you made versus the hours you worked, you're
My
probably coming
time is
out ahead
valuable.
hourly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're getting to spend time with Mike and everything, right? And your family
Yeah.
and his family, and you guys are able to grow as a unit now
Yeah.
instead of
There was
apart.
no, it wasn't, it was so like, trying to do a relationship long distance over the road is, it adds an extra layer to the whole factor of long distance because it's not like I'm stationary. It's not like we can start to maybe work out some sort of like a routine or a schedule. There is no routine or schedule when you're a truck driver. You can't plan like, okay, so every third week of the month we'll see each other. And that, first of all, you can't even afford that. Second of
Correct.
all, there's no stability to even set that up.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
even if I could afford it, even if I wanted to, I could never guarantee like we buy concert tickets and I'd have to cross my fingers and hope I could make it.
Yeah, you'd have to make sure you're home 3 days before,
Right.
and then you're losing a whole week's
and then
pay.
you're paying for your truck the whole
Yeah,
time you're here.
the whole time you're there. Yeah, so that's
So
a big difference. So
it wasn't really, my work life balance was way off. If I was, like you said, if I was single, if I didn't have a partner, if I, luckily I don't have any kids or anything, but if it were a different situation, trucking would have been, I could have sustained that for God knows
correct.
how long.
And
Um,
and it's funny because a lot of people. So I have had people watch that video and they took the video personally, and I feel bad for them because I don't mean it. I'm not attacking anybody personally, and I'm not attacking truck drivers in general. I'm just trying to shed light on the industry as a whole that says, hey, in reality, guys, this is really all that I made when I was there, and this is all
mhm.
you're making now, and it sucks, and it needs to be addressed.
Some people don't like reality. I
Yeah, they don't
think
like it. You're right.
if it causes them to look at, their
Correct.
beliefs or.
So, there's other things in your life that you have going on that you are now going to kind of become a proponent of, correct?
Oh yeah.
So, I
I,
mean, hold on a minute now. So we can do this. So, we are joined. This is Grateful Tread Trucking here on YouTube. You can find her here on YouTube underneath Grateful Tread Trucking. And she was a truck driver, and now she's going to be a proponent for the industry for certain things that she would like to see changed. And
oh
one
yeah.
of them is you feel that there is a place for recreational use marijuana in trucking.
Yes, and I've always felt that way, and now I feel like finally another freedom that I've gained by hanging my keys up, so to speak, is I can actually speak now about how I feel. And I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna tell you guys straight up, like I'm pretty much putting any hope of a career in trucking possibly potentially at risk by even talking about this. So um, I'm hoping that maybe I can at least be part of a change, part of some sort of a reform, because I think that there might be a lag, so to speak, in some of the rules, and they seem a little bit maybe overwhelming, overbearing in my mind when it comes to trucking, because being a truck driver is hard. It's a stressful job.
It is.
And maybe they could just loosen it a little bit. Like, I think one of the biggest things is they need to design a test that can accurately figure out, and I think they have these tests, I just don't think that they're commonly used. I have to look more into it. But if they could tell if you are under the influence versus if you did it a month ago.
Correct.
So
what you would like to see is something more like they have for alcohol, right? Where they say,
right, like the way that they test for alcohol.
Don't
like,
drink. Don't drink 24 hours before you drive your truck, right? I believe that was
no,
our
and
rule at Prime.
don't smoke weed and drive anything. Like,
Correct.
We can argue what if it's safer than drinking and driving or not, or whatever, or being tired and driving or not. It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to say, hey, you should be able to drive down the road with an 18-wheeler puffing down a blunt. That's not what I want to see at all. I want to see a responsible approach where, let's say, I have Memorial Day weekend off with my family and somebody lights up a joint and we're standing around the barbecue. I don't want that to affect me in 30 days when I get a random drug test.
Correct.
I want to know that I can kick back and relax. And when I finally do have my time back, my very, very, very valuable free time that not a lot of truck drivers have very often, I want to be able to spend that time doing what I want to do, especially if I live in a state where it's recreationally legal. Why are you telling me that on my free time I can't smoke weed a month ago? Because it just doesn't make sense to me.
And so me and you talked about this, so we already knew we were going to discuss this in the video. So I've had time to kind of soak this in a little bit, right? And so I thought about it, and at first I was kind of like, she's crazy, she's nuts. There's no way, right? So honestly, that's how I felt. And so then I really started soaking it a little bit, and I thought, you know what? It's really not a bad thing, because here's the deal: if you put some limitations on it, right? You can't drive high. The only people who are going to break that rule are people who probably are already breaking that rule.
It's true.
Right? So all you're really going to do is open the door to the industry for a different group of drivers to join the trucking industry who will
How many times do you hear how short they are in truck drivers? Well,
Correct.
maybe it's because being a truck driver isn't really very much fun.
It's not.
You know,
it's not.
It's like you're like a prisoner or something.
Yes, and I've had some comments. People tell me that, it's the most boring job in the world, and it can be amazing at times, but 90% of the time, it is dreadfully boring and stressful.
And lonely.
And lonely.
And it's not good for your mental health. And you know what is good for your mental health? Unwinding every once in a while, maybe having a joint. Especially in your time. So.
And you know what? Maybe it'll come to that. I mean, as more states continue to pass recreational use, I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually make some changes to the marijuana use in trucking.
Yep.
But I think it will take what you were saying. I think it's going to take a type of test that will test for under the influence instead of use.
And I'd like to invite anybody who's watching this to reach out to me on Instagram. I'm at Grateful Tread Trucking. It's like 3 words.
And we'll put it down here on your screen. I think it's on this side, but it might be on this side. Whatever side it's on, I'm going to put it down here. So
yeah, I would love to have people that maybe possibly have the ability to I don't know how to change things, but I know that I can make a lot of noise. I'm good at that.
Well, that's how things get changed. You start making
so
noise.
If anybody wants to join my my cause, just reach out to me on Instagram. I would love to talk to whoever has any ideas, even some brainstorming ideas of things that we can do to make a racket about it.
how just to get it started, right? In general.
Yeah, just get the conversation started. That's what, if we could start talking about it. I think a lot of people are afraid to talk about it, like I was, because you Prime sees this video on YouTube, they're gonna fire me, but you know what? They can't because I quit. So
because you quit, yeah. So you don't have to worry about it no more.
Right.
Is there anything about trucking that you miss?
Oh my God. All the time I think about, my favorite thing was to drive through the desert. It sounds so lame and stupid.
No, it doesn't, because my favorite stretch of highway, believe it or not, is from Needles, California to Barstow.
I love driving to Arizona on I-40. I love driving to New Mexico. That's my favorite stretch is like once you leave Texas into New Mexico all the way to Barstow or whatever. Yep. That's my favorite stretch.
Yeah, that's your favorite stretch. And see, that's who I am. I'm Barstow to Arizona.
I could live on that stretch of highway. I could drive back and forth 3 times a week on that stretch of highway and be happy. As long as I could be home on a regular basis, I would probably, but home, unfortunately, is on the other side of the country for me.
It's in New York. And if you're watching this video, comment down below where your favorite stretch of highway is. I'd love to see. Let's start a pattern of that down in the comment section. Let's find out where everybody likes to drive. And then we'll make another video someday on where you don't like to drive, and it's probably close to her home. It's probably close to your home, I would think.
Oh yeah, the East Coast. Actually, Southern Arkansas really sucked. Surprisingly,
it can, yeah, it could be pretty bad.
Yeah, and not a lot of places to stop and pee. So
down through there.
Yeah, not even to pull over the road.
What's in store for your future and Mike's future, and what are you guys going to do? So Mike, I have some inside information, right? So Mike's some kind of, the information I got's probably been inflated a little bit by love, but Mike's like this superstar record maker, producer, all around awesome dude. So
it's a little over the top, but that's okay. We can say whatever about him. This is his amazing VHS collection, or just part of it. So
His movie, yeah, his well, oh, wall art. That's his wall art.
that's not his wall art.
Yeah, that's wall art because it's never going to be used. It's VHS.
No, we pull these out and watch them
Well, I
sometimes.
know that, but you're never going to, so it's wall art.
Oh, this one's still in the plastic. Star Trek First Contact.
Yeah, look at that.
Put that-
So no,
hopefully I
what's
can-
in store for you? What's in your future? Do you have big
well,
plans?
we're gonna start a band when this COVID thing is over. We already have our band formed. We just have to practice, but we can't right now. Crap.
Are you gonna bring that to your YouTube? Maybe some music?
Maybe.
I
I
think
already
that-
do some.
I
music
think
on
that
my
would be
YouTube.
pretty cool. I think that would be pretty
Occasionally.
cool.
We started writing some songs not that long ago. So
Yeah, I think that would be
figure
good.
that out.
If you guys
And
do some
then-
covers and stuff and put it on YouTube.
And then I would like to get back into my photography thing and my video editing thing, and
Okay.
I don't know, just live my life. Maybe one day we could start a family, but I'm gonna enjoy not having to worry about that for a little while.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, correct. You just got off the road, and you're still
Yeah, I
young.
just got off the road.
You're
I'm
still
really
young.
responsible.
You're pre-30.
no, I just turned 31.
Oh, okay. I was thinking you were 29, getting ready to turn 30. Okay, so
No.
you're 31. Yeah, so you're still young. You have time
I have a little time, a couple years to chill.
to chill and enjoy.
And who knows,
life.
I could just die tomorrow, so it's just whatever.
All right. Well, this was fun. Thank you for joining me. We will always stay in touch. Right?
Are we done?
Yeah. Don't you want to be done?
No,
Okay,
I'm not
go.
sure.
What do you got?
um what else can we talk about? We should talk about like just the benefits of, like, you could talk about how much you really are enjoying being home.
I love being
I
home. No, hey, you ain't got to say it to me twice, because I love being home. I got my little one at home. Yeah, I got my little one at home. I see him every morning. I spend hours with him every day. Then I go to work, and then I come home and I spend hours on social media platforms fixing and editing and posting stuff. And then I get to do it all over again. But every single day, I am at home. And every morning, I wake up to a 5-year-old attacking me, telling me it's time to get up and get him milk. So
You wake up relieved every morning?
every morning, I get up with him. His mama sleeps in every morning. I get up with him every morning when he gets up. So
I wake up like happy every morning. I wake up just happy that I don't have to drive a truck and worry about parking it and worrying about. That's what we should talk about, is what really, like, the kind of issues, like, we could talk about wait times at shippers and receivers.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty outrageous. Wait times are pretty outrageous.
One of the things that started to really get to me was feeling like I was, like, somehow subhuman.
Correct.
Being like, there were certain shippers and receivers that wouldn't let us use the bathroom anymore, and they would supply us with this nasty outhouse with no hand sanitizer in it. And, like, it's like, so you're trying to spread diseases? Because, like, this is disgusting.
And that's what forced you out early, stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like that. And, like, I remember I went to the Walmart distribution center, and I walked up to the window. There's nobody else in there. And she's just like, stand against the wall. I'll be with you in a minute. And I'm just like, no, I'm not going to stand against the wall. Like, I felt like she was like, I don't even know. I'm like, am I in, like, boot camp or something? Like, why are you talking to me? So I actually took a step back, but I made a point not to stand against the wall because she told me to, because it's just like, I make more money than you probably. Shut up. Like, I don't.
Yeah, leave me alone. And now you work there.
Yeah. And then there was another time where I went to do a drop and hook at Walmart.
Yep.
And I dropped my trailer, and I couldn't find another trailer that did not have a flat tire. There were 3 trailers there that were empty. All of them had a flat tire. So I was waiting I told them, I was like, I could just kind of like limp it, 12 miles down the road to the truck stop. And they're like, no, that's too far. We're going to, send somebody, just hang tight. And I'm like, okay. And everybody that drives knows that Walmart wants you to GTFO as soon as you're empty. So they make you wait really, really, really long wait times to get unloaded. Then all of a sudden you have to just come up with a place to park out of nowhere. Even if it is 11 o'clock, get out of there. It's not their problem that they kept you there until all the parking filled up. You just need to get off their property immediately.
Yep.
So I'm sitting there waiting for the Loves or the TA truck to come and change the tire. And I'm on the phone with my sweet fiance, and all of a sudden there's a bang on my door, and I'm like, and I was only there for like 20 minutes, maybe sitting still,
Okay.
and look, and there's a yard dog there, and I'm just like, oh hi, just my friendly, happy-go-lucky self. He's like, you need to get off the property. He's like, you're empty, right? You need to get off the property. I was like, oh, I have a flat tire. He's like, were you a drop and hook? And I was like, yeah. And he's just like, well, that's not my problem. And I'm like, well, I need a trailer. And he's like, I just dropped one over there. Grab that one. You need to go. And I'm like, all right. Like, but luckily I was able to get a trailer and get out of there. But he was just like super rude. Like,
yeah. And
just like, why?
Yeah, they can be.
Why? And it's just like, this isn't even like you said, there's really no time off. That's my time off. Me sitting there dressed, hoping that I don't get kicked off of the property.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You really have no time off.
No.
The only time you have off is when you're sleeping, and it's really not even time off.
It's constant stress, 24/7 stress.
Yep.
And that does a number on somebody. And you wonder why truck drivers are so negative and so sensitive and all these things, like all these attitudes that you notice, like on those Facebook groups where you're like, why is everybody such a miserable prick in these groups? Well, I think they're just jaded from spending so much time
on the road,
so much time like seeing the worst. And I don't want to make it sound like truck driving is the worst thing in the world, because there's plenty of other bad jobs. And I look back on it super fondly. Like I will yearn for those days forever, but only enough to like sit there, maybe daydream for like 30 seconds and then be able to look around and appreciate what I have now, So I can't live both realities at once, obviously. And if I had to choose one or the other easily, it would be the one where I can go to bed in the same place. I know when I'm going to have a shower. I know when I can poop. I don't have to worry about
finding the bathroom.
Oh my God, am I going to be able to poop today? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can do whatever I want. And I can smoke weed, and I can drink, and I can fuck off if I want to, because it's my life.
Yes, correct. Correct.
And I can't. And I was going to take a local driving job, and I honestly didn't, just so that I can fuck off for a little while. Maybe eventually I will take a local driving job if I feel like it. But right now I'm enjoying my low responsibility Walmart job and my food delivery job, and I started door dashing on top of it, and then I get to edit pictures on my phone. That's another job of mine, editing pictures on my phone and uploading them to a website. It's just like, I couldn't ask for.
You figured out all kinds of different outlets, and see, that's smart. I like that.
Yeah, so I have several things in the works so that I can kind of decide what I want to really put my energy into, and I can make the life that I want for myself. I don't feel like I'm a victim of my situation.
I was going to say, so basically your message is a lot like mine, and that is this. Truck drivers, there is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow when you leave trucking. It's not as scary as it seems to be once you start doing things. There's a way out. You know what I mean? I think, right? I mean, would you feel that way?
You have to accept certain realities that maybe before you started trucking, you might not have. Like at one point, I would have never have worked at Walmart. I would be like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to work at Walmart. Like I'd feel almost good for it. But now I'm like, please give me Walmart, because they'll give me like a schedule. Like, oh, I know what day I'm going to go. I know what hours I'm going to be there. And then that's it.
And you go home.
Leave.
Yeah. It's not like trucking.
Like, they're paying me $13.80 to stand around, basically. Like, I can't.
In trucking, it's like, okay, you're going to deliver on Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock, and then we'll let you know then what you're going to do for the next 4 days.
You can't make a plan, and you're in different states, places you're not familiar with. So, and I know I'm going to get crap in the comments about how negative I am about trucking. I want you to know that I enjoyed it. I enjoyed trucking while I was doing it, and I enjoy looking back on it. So if you're still in the process of deciding whether it's something you want to do or not, I would say if you don't have a million responsibilities and things that are going to stress you out, like you don't have like a sick parent at home or a kid
young
or
kids or stuff,
wife or whatever, and you don't feel like, you're going to be missing anything, go for it and take the experience while you can. And then, when you're ready, hopefully maybe one day you'll decide, if that's for you, you'll stay. And if it's not, you'll know enough to get out.
And see, my recommendation's always been to people, if you're wanting to get into trucking, do it, but do it with an out plan. Say, hey, I'm
Right.
into trucking and I'm
You
going
want
to
to
do
get
this
stuck.
for so long, and then I'm going to become a local driver. I'm going to do this. Have an out plan and stick to it. You know what I mean? Because otherwise you get stuck. You know, I
And
was
some
stuck.
people, and I think maybe some people enjoy it enough that it's okay that they're stuck. So we have
Correct.
to remember that maybe some people want to be truck drivers until they retire. So that's okay too. And if that works for you, but I don't want anybody to feel like what I was feeling. I would go back and forth on a daily. You're lucky you weren't talking to me during this time. I would have driven you crazy because I was like, should I quit? Should I not? Should I quit? Should I not? Like I was like bouncing. I was driving myself nuts. And then finally I was like, I'm doing it. Today's the day. Like I woke up crying. I don't know why. I was just not feeling like, I just didn't want to deal with anything. I was so tired. I think I had a bad day the day before. I was just like, I'm done. Like
Let
I'm
me
so
see.
burnt
I
out.
think I can tell you what day this was because I'm pretty sure I got a message. Let me check. Let me see how far back I got to go. Um, so it's been a little bit, right?
Oh yeah. I could probably find it just by going through our messages because we don't
It's
really text that much anymore.
correct. Well, more than you think. Um,
Oh yeah. My beer.
let's see. It's been a little bit. So I feel like I'm on a ledge, and I'm about the yep. I'm about so April 18th. You told me you were about ready to quit.
Yep. That was my ledge. I was standing on this
It says I
like,
feel like I'm on a ledge and I'm about to jump.
yeah,
I
that was
mean,
the just
so
quitting.
that's where you let it get to the point of where you finally had to make a decision because you were so stressed out, and you
I
know
was so
that
scared.
yeah, and that was just over a month ago.
I was, and the amazing part is immediately as soon as I made the choice and I knew that that was my choice, I felt such a sense of relief. Like I didn't have to sit there and go back and forth in my head anymore because I knew the outcome eventually. In my situation, I knew I was going to quit at some point. So it
Correct.
wasn't like a matter of if I'm going to quit. It was a matter of when, and I didn't want to do the wrong when. I
Yeah,
didn't want to like
correct.
pick the wrong time to do it. But once I did it, I had a sense of peace inside of me, like in my heart and in my mind, and all of a sudden I felt like I went from turmoil to just serenity, and I couldn't believe it. It was like I never made such a big decision and felt so sure about something ever because I'm so like indecisive all the time. Like I don't even know what I want to eat half the time,
Well,
you
see,
know?
and that's where I got lucky. You know, is I didn't get to make the decision.
The choice was made for you.
Yeah, they made the decision for me when they technically revoked my contract, but it was it's layman's term. They fired me in their own way, without having to do that because I wasn't an employee, I was a contractor. So basically, by revoking my contract, they fired me in a sense, and so they made the choice for me, and I'm glad they did. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If I ever see Robert Brock, I'm going to shake his hand and thank him.
He's gonna be so
Richard
surprised. He's
Brock.
gonna
I'm
be like,
sorry, his
"You're the
name's
guy
not
I
Robert. It's
fired."
Richard. Richard Brock, up there in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. Because I will shake his hand and I will thank him because
I'll go find him for you.
it has changed my life for the better. My life, just me personally. I'm happier. I'm healthier, and I have my family back together. And that
So
has
happy
made
for you.
so much. That has meant so much to me, and I'm just so pleased about that. And I've told people all the time, Bags, you need to get back on the road. And I'm like, if you ever see me over the road trucking, the only other choice was homelessness. All right, and
Mhm.
that's it. Because I'll never let my son go without. So if I have to go on the road someday, I will. But things are going to have to be really bad for that to happen.
Yeah.
And I won't
And
allow them to get that bad.
the thing is, I actually still think maybe one day I might, if I could find like something that works for me.
Yeah.
Like I said, if there was like a route that I knew what to expect and it was just like, okay, I'll be gone a couple days and then I get to be home for the rest of the week or something crazy like
Yep.
that, I would probably do it. Or if I could like go on tour with like you were talking about with like a
Yeah.
band
Yep.
for the summer just because I can and
Well,
I have
see,
nothing
and
to
that's
do.
a different kind of life though, because you go to a city and you're down for 3 days and you know it. You
Mhm.
have your guaranteed time off. You know what I mean? It's like we were
Mhm.
saying before. Right now, over the road, you're going to deliver on Tuesday at 9 a.m. and sometimes you have no idea where you're going next or what you're doing next till 2 hours later.
or you're going to deliver right outside Chicago at 2 a.m. and there's going to be nowhere to park when you get out.
And you know, if you're on tour, you know where you're going. They have parking at the stadiums, at the venues, and you know, hey, we're here for 3 days. We got 3 shows here.
You know, it's really funny. One time I was like unloading out here in Western New York, because I'm in Eastern New York, but I was in Western New York out by Rochester, and I actually told them, because like there was no parking allowed there, and I got there at 11 o'clock at night, and then I was like, do you know how long it's going to take? And the guy's like, I don't know, you know, we've been a little behind, so it should take like a couple hours. I was like, honestly, I would love it if it took like 5 hours, so I could like sleep, you know, not have to worry about finding parking until like tomorrow morning. And he's like, we could probably make it 5 hours for you.
We could do that.
It was so funny. I'm like, please take forever so that I can like have a place to park when I leave here.
I'm the same way. If it was like one of those 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. deliveries, I wanted them to take till 5.
Yeah, please take till 5, because then you know parking's going to start opening up at that point.
Parking start opening up and you have the ability to park.
So funny. Like these little, like we always had to like juggle these little like variables that had nothing to do with us.
Yes, correct.
And we were the ones that would get punished if something went wrong along that chain. Like, one thing goes wrong. Somebody schedules an appointment wrong in sales, right? And then you get there and the place is closed and you're shut down for the whole weekend and you have to sit on this load. They'll give you like maybe like $100 or $75 a day for layover pay or whatever. And then you miss a pre-plan. This actually happened to me. I had a pre-plan that was going to pay $1,500. It delivered on Monday, and I had to wait until Monday to get rid of the load I already had. So I lost $1,500 for that week's revenue. Insane.
And you had no control over it.
I had no control, and it's just like, well, that's the way it works. Sorry. And I actually told my fleet manager, I was like, it's really funny how you guys expect me to get to appointments on time, but you know, I can't expect you guys, like, there's no repercussions. There's no, like, nothing happens. Like, I don't get anything for you guys screwing on your end. Like, why is it always on me? You know?
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair. There's a lot of drivers are such a commodity that they're not even really, especially lease operators. I think because we fell under the, you know, through the cracks on so many things. Like, well, that's not our problem. That's not our problem. Like, it's so easy for them to be like, well,
because you're not an employee. It's like, we don't have to worry about you.
Yeah.
You know? We don't have to worry about you. You're not an employee.
Man, I'm glad I did it. Don't get me wrong. I think back and I get so excited and giddy for like some of those times. Like, I think all the way back to PSD when if some of you guys go all the way back to the beginning of my YouTube, you'll see how excited I was when I started PSD and what a big adventure that was for me. And I loved it. And I feel like it was an enriching experience.
And it was, you know, it's good. Yeah. It's good. And that's what, so we were saying, you know, trucking, if you're interested in trucking, try it. But it is a lifestyle.
I'm so glad I did it. Like,
it is a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a job. I mean, it's a way of life. It's how you're going to live, because you're always on the road. You're always working. You're on the clock, in my opinion, 24 hours a day. You're
giving your life to the truck, basically.
Yes, to the
you're
truck.
saying
whether it's your truck or a company's truck, it's still you're giving your life to the success of that truck.
Yes.
And I mean, it's 20.
And it's a commitment, and you have to really commit. Like, a lot of people will. I'm lucky I wasn't one of those people, but a lot of people won't even make it through PSD. Correct. They won't even get the PDL. They can't even handle 2 weeks.
Correct. And I know that because, you know, via my YouTube, you know, I met hundreds of people coming in, actually probably thousands now, of people who've gone into Prime's training program, and only a small percentage of them I hear from later on who have completed it, you know, and are in their own truck. It's very small percentage of them.
And there was a huge sense of accomplishment and pride. I trifecta'd. I on my first shot, I got the bonus for it. I was really proud of myself. And you know, there were little accomplishments that would happen too. Like, I would be in a situation where later on, like closer to when I quit, you know, or even like whatever, later on after I was solo, you know, I was so scared to go solo because I would always have to have my trainer, my friend, Marcus, who I was lucky to be trained by a friend. I would have him bail me out of situations. I'd wake him up out of a sound sleep. I'd be like, I don't know. And I was like, how am I ever going to handle being out here by myself, I'm probably gonna have a meltdown. And I would get situations where I could look back and know, oh, 5-6 months ago, I would have freaked out.
Freaked
but
out. Yeah.
now I can handle this like a champ, and I'm all by myself,
Now
and
it's
there's
all
nobody
better.
here to bail me out.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just like you almost, truck driving gives you like a inner belief structure, like a strength, like in yourself, you know. So there are benefits 100% to going through. You know, Prime's training program was great when I did it. I don't know what it's like now. I heard it's gotten a little more whatever, but it was perfect for what I needed it for. And I have my CDL now. Whether I'll ever use it again, I don't know, but I still have it. It's
Yeah,
a
you
it's
have it,
a
yep.
good thing to fall back on. And I have in my brain, I can picture every single state, like if I wanted to. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's such
Isn't
a
that
cool
great?
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like I have a gift, and I got what I needed out of it, and I admitted that my time was up with that.
Yeah.
And I will always look back on it. I just recently dug out my like I cleaned out my wallet and I posted a picture on Instagram. I don't know if you can throw the picture up real quick of my cards that I dug out of my wallet.
No, I can't. I don't have it ready.
Well, not this. You can throw it up and post maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah. I will. I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that. Yeah, I'll throw it up there.
You can remember too. If not, it's whatever. But it's like my Love's, you know, card and my pilot card and my TA card and my Prime badge, and I'm looking at that stuff, and I was just thinking about all the times that those things accompanied me through, like every fuel islands in every town, like in the desert, in the south, in the north, in the northwest, like all those places that I was standing holding those cards. And it's just something really special about having all that, and it's mine. Like it's nobody else's, you know. It's like there's certain moments
your memories. They're your memories, and
they're
you'll have them
yeah,
forever.
and there are certain moments that I have that I literally share with nobody else but myself, thousands of miles away from anybody I know. And there's something cool about that.
There is.
You know?
Yeah, I would agree.
So definitely, if you're thinking about trying it, try it, but you have to know if it's not for you. You have to be able to. You can't live your life miserable because you're afraid to. And I'm not even admitting that I was wrong to get into it. You know, it's just I did it. It was something I want.
Oh,
Somebody.
I don't regret trucking.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
And
regret trucking.
It wasn't even like anything I ever thought I would do. It was just something I'm like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. Why not?
Yeah, like, and see, people think I do. I don't regret what I did, but I'm glad I got out.
Yeah, I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad I got out.
Yeah. I'm glad I accomplished what I did when I was there. I'm glad I was able to, you know, for my position as someone on YouTube and as a trainer at Prime, to help so many people better their lives. You know, especially people who live out in rural America, you know, who don't have opportunities. You know, they're now trucking and they're now providing for their family. And so that, you know, I like being a part of that. So I don't regret anything I've done, but I am happy that I'm out. And now I'm doing something different. I'm moving on from it, you know, and I'm getting to see my son every day.
And it's amazing to be able to be happy that you did it and be happy that you're out.
Correct.
Like, it's such a good balance. Like I'm happier than I've been in a really long time.
Good.
So,
I'm glad. I can tell.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure Mike is happy to have you home.
Mike, are you happy to have me home?
Yeah.
He says yeah.
He says yeah. Okay.
Phew. Oh, I was worried for a second there.
All right. Well, I'm gonna run, but this was great to catch up. So this was wonderful. So take care of yourself. You and Mike take care of each other.
Yep, right? We're happy and everything's great. And you're gonna have to hang up because my mouse disappeared. So
that's fine. Stay healthy. All right. Stay healthy.
All right.
Take care of yourselves. Mike, I love you.
He said, what did you say? He gave you the peace sign.
Peace sign. All right. Y'all take care.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.